Right, here I am. I'm not quite at Speaker's Corner yet, you may have noticed. I just thought, for reasons, the travel network is a bit topsy-turvy at the moment, so I thought, seeing as how I'm being forced to come through this part of town, I might show you some of its lovely sights, because they are good. Let me just flip around to what I'm looking at. 2 seconds. Okay, so that is one of the royal palaces. That's the Tower of London. It doesn't look as I can see on the screen, obviously it doesn't look as impressive somehow, but I think I'll cross over so we can get a better view of that. Behind me ish, so here there's part of an ancient wall through there, the wall that's directly in front of us, and that space there, or very close to it, there was there was one of the old Speaker's Corners, because Speaker's Corner is it didn't begin as a unique place for free speech. All right, it was one of many that we had in London, certainly, and around the country. So there's a lot of traffic. I'm about to tiger. Well, I won't, because they can't fly up, and they're behind some walls that, unfortunately, we have to pay lots of money to. I mean, one Sunday, possibly. I don't mind, actually. I'm not averse to going in there, and we can take a look. But the legend of the Ravens, or the prophecy, even, is it a prophecy, a warning, or something? A legend, that'll do. Is that if they vacate the tower, if they leave, England will fall. Some would argue it's already on its backside. But, yeah, it might be me. But anyhow, let's go and have a little butcher's, which is East London for look, because it rhymes with butcher's hook. Doesn't rhyme. It would do if you put the last word on, which you wouldn't, because then people would know what you were talking about. Okie dokie, let's show you. All right then, 2 seconds. Right, that is slightly more impressive. I don't know if it is, actually. So in the background is the top of Tower Bridge. Let's see if I can. Yeah. As we walk along, I'll get to a better vantage point. And, I'll flip around again. So in front of me is All Hallows by the Tower. I believe that's the oldest. All right, green tea. That's the oldest church within this corporation, within this square mile, which is like Corporation of London, City of London, as opposed to London the city, as it were. It sounds more complicated than it is. You're right, it's London. Much better than I did, because that was horrific. Like when I was unwell. But yeah, no, I feel better. Life continues unabated, so there's always had to bring you back down again. But yeah, I'm alright. Okay, here's a bit of you. It's coming up. All right, fat lover. Bonjour. Okay, let's have a butch. Right, hold up. Right there. Oh shucks. That'll do. Anyhow, there you go. So that is where the two princes were in the White Tower there, and vanished, basically. That's there. This is supposed to be, it's known to be I think I'm right in saying the most haunted or unexplained phenomenon, like the site of the most, it's the most haunted place in Britain, as far as I'm aware. And because of the multiple, Traitor's Gate, which is around the back on the riverside, is, people's heads were put on spikes on a regular, which is pretty, it's harsh, I guess, is a fair word. But yeah, so also the Crown. Anyone's ever seen Sherlock, the modern one? Crown jewels are inside. All right, Martin. Everywhere around here is just picturesque, so really I could, do you know what I mean, like there's the shards over there. I'll try and spin around every now and then Okay, so behind me, where's my angle? Right there towards the right of centre is St Mary's Axe. It looks like a bullet standing up. It's called the Gherkin, colloquially. So there's so many churches around here. The good thing is that within the Corporation of London, most of the old churches, I think all of them have survived. Yeah, there was no, I mean, unlike parts of East London where there was like a concerted effort in the Blitz to take out the warehouses and the docks and stuff like that. So a lot of the churches there were unfortunately destroyed. These didn't get that. Do you know what I'm going to do? Sod it. I'm feeling a bit rebellious. I'm going to just quickly walk you all through. I mean, I will get to Speaker's Corner eventually. I hope. I will. It's just another like half hour's journey from here when I'm usually I'm usually there. And the fact is, no one talks to, like, I don't mean Christians. I mean, there's only so much mow before you blow, as it were. So, oh yeah, right. So there, that church in the background with the greenish coloured steeple or spire is All Hallows by the Tower. I think that's 605 AD. That ground was consecrated. Parts of that church are the original. Parts have been rebuilt. So it's a mixture of old and new. But there is a live stream. I think it was really raining hard one day, and I ran in there for shelter. So there is a stream all around that church on my channel somewhere. I don't know what I would have called it. Probably called it It's Rain. I have no idea. But let's get across this. Like, is anyone going to press this button? No. Anyhow, so I'm going to take you to. Please God, it's open. Well, it is Sunday. The church. So Samuel Pepys worshipped in that church, All Hallows by the Tower. However, he is commemorated more so in the church that we're going to go and have a look at. And I do remember a stream. I think it was during the lockdown, because I wanted to go in and show you all, but they were shut. They were locked down, literally. So let's have a go this time. Yeah, I remember being in the little teensy weensy churchyard. Ivan, do you want to rephrase that? Because I'm not quite sure. Tiger, what do you mean, dear? Is there someone behind me that I don't know of? Trying to make me paranoid. In general, I've got Jesus and angels beside me and all that, but what do you mean? Right. Oh my gosh, I just see the price on one of them. You know it's Touristville. £6 for, wow. Okay, let's get through anyway. So there's a lot of, so this is Trinity Square, which is worth noting just because, that way. And it's not a square either. There's not three of them. But, just for the name alone, and that is a really impressive building, and I cannot for the life of me think what it used to be. Let me show you what it looks like. Hold up. Sorry, chaps. There. Doesn't look as... Oh, I see, Tony. Yeah, nothing looks as good on... That's a nautical remnant. There's a church... maybe a tea clipper on a weather vane. Rather fetchingly brought out in gold. So it's not real gold. Who's this dude? Viscount Wakefield of Hythe, who with his wife led Tower Hill restoration and gave this house for good to church and people. I wonder how many people, or churches to be honest, benefit you anywho. So that's the dude there. Quite a nice house, by the way, like a townhousey kind of vibe. Anyway, let's get to Samuel Pepysy Church. That's not the name of it. I'm trying to think what the name is. It's a Swedish Saint Olav. Olav, I think. Anyway, we get there. And then there's another part of the old... Oh, you can't see it. All the way through there, the Roman wall. It's a wall. I mean, once you've seen one wall, you've seen them all, really. But let's get... I think I've made myself... Right. All these little tiny side streets, I'm trying to think which way I have to go now. I came all the way down past the tower. Aha! I know where I'm going. Now let's turn. connected to you. Right, Olaf, thank you. What's your name? Sorry, kid, I can't see the back. Oh, Fox, thank you. Right. So, what I do like, I mean, yeah, I think I'd probably prefer if it was all of one architectural style, but I do like the juxtaposition of the old and the new around here, but only if it's not like monstrous, because there are some very ill-advised looking buildings dotted around. See, everything's just this is Savage Gardens. I don't know why, like we're on a taxi tour, but it just looks better with my eyeballs as opposed to on the, I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because I'm only looking at it in a very small screen or small window. Right, don't know what it is. I should really learn this stuff, but this is a bit like ad lib. Hi, feta cheese. Oh, look, can't remember. I love that name. Anywho, I see the gate is open to the churchyard, which is, well, hopefully-ish. But let's get a wriggle on. And then, yeah, I could get a bus to St Paul's, and then it would take about 20 minutes to Speaker's Corner. Or from here about half an hour if I walk back to the station. We see how we go. I see the skulls. There are 3 skulls above the gate entrance to the, it's not a cemetery, yeah, it's a churchyard. Cemeteries are usually without churches, just if anyone's bothered, because of the abundance of bodies at one point. I don't know if it was the plague. I'm not sure. There was a point in history where they said, listen, got too many, mate. And then they made, I think, 7 cemeteries were commissioned for London, which tells you something, because the population was, I don't remember because of the deaths, it was much smaller then. Anyway, let me turn the camera around to show you what I see. That's all right, Anna. Right, so those are there's 2 femurs. The middle skull has a Roman, one of those leafy hats. I do know the name of them, but I can't. There's another skull on each of the plinths. So it's Olaves. That's how it's spelt here anyway.
Okay.
And I think he was, I think it was a Swedish king, to be honest. And I think there was something to do with some sort of, thank you. So that's the Corporation of London crest, for anyone who, I don't know, who cares. Let's have a little look, see. Right, I'll make out, I know this stuff. The church is open, I'm so excited. Right, this is St Olaf's churchyard, founded in the 11th century. So it's one of the few medieval city churches to have escaped the Great Fire. And it says the churchyard dates back many centuries and has a rich history. The house of Sir Francis Walsingham, who was Queen Elizabeth I's spy master, stood close to this spot. And Pepys, who is here described as a 17th century diarist, walked through the churchyard to attend services. He and his wife are buried in the church, this church, although it wasn't, as I say, his place of worship, or regular place. So amongst others buried here are hundreds who died in the Great Plague of 1665. Charles Dickens knew the place well, calling it one of my best beloved churchyards. Oh, one of mine as well. The church and the churchyard were badly damaged during the Blitz of 40 and 1941, but were restored in the early 50s. So, it says here there's a labyrinth over there, even though it's like a 2-dimensional one. The granite labyrinth in the southwest corner of the churchyard provides a spiritual and meditative pathway. I never know that. Labyrinths date from earliest times and can be found all over the world. You're invited to walk the way of to the cross, and in your footsteps find Christ. Among the plants here are ones that have been used over many centuries for medicinal and decorative purposes. They include some of the 300 native plants first described in English by the naturalist and physician William Turner, who was born around 1508 and died definitely in 1568, known as the father of English botany, which is the study of plantiness. So we do the labyrinth when we come out. We're going to whisper our way around the church because it is see what you see. I'm going to hope that I don't get